Howdy, my name is Anna. Welcome. If you saw my last video, you will know already that I'm a huge fan of the new Natasha Denona Xenon palette. And if you didn't see my last video, hello. I love the Natasha Denona Xenon palette, and I wanted to, because I didn't do this, I wanted to try to do two very different looks with it, because I think that there was a lot of sentiment about this palette that it's kind of a one look sort of palette, and maybe it is, but I wanted to try today to make two different looks with it. So I'm going to prime my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer and the Pat McGrath Labs under eye powder over that. Okay, eyes are primed and I've zoomed you in so that hopefully you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna do one eye at a time. I think I'm gonna try to do one eye in the very grayscale and also try to do one eye in a not as just grayscale, because that's what I heard, was that a lot of people were complaining that this was just grayscale, it was all the same. And I venture that there are different shades in here that are not grayscale. I think that these are not grayscale, not grayscale, not grayscale. Like, this was actually more colorful than I was expecting. Anywho, I'm gonna start with a super fluffy brush into Blizzard, and just put that in my, well, this brush is so big it's actually just going on my entire lid, just the whole eye. Just as a base, I guess, to get started. Are we already looking more grayscale? Maybe. All right. And I think maybe trying a halo eye on that eye, because I don't do that very often. Snert, which is slightly deeper than Blizzard, and sort of get that in the outer bits of my eye. Here, a little closer. All right, and then I want to go into Sposh with an even smaller brush. This is a Blend Bunny B3. These Blend Bunny, the original brushes that they came out with, I haven't tried anything since. Brush-wise, not that I haven't wanted to, it's just, I can only buy so much. Anyways, I'm gonna put this, I love these brushes, is my point. I'm gonna put this in the corner. Maybe this brush is not the best for this. Why is it not showing up? All right, I'm gonna try actually this Odin's Eye brush that I got in a set. I don't think it sells anymore, so I don't think it's worth even talking about, but I like the shape of it. Let's see if that gives me a little bit more. Yeah, I think it does. Oh yeah. All right, and I should have done the dark shades first, and I don't know. I don't have an explanation for why I am the way I am. I also want to take this Blizzard shade again with a bit smaller fluffy brush, take that across the top here. I feel like I want it to connect a little better and blend a little better. It was looking a little funny to me in a way I didn't like. All right, so I'm actually gonna go back into Snert, and actually I'm gonna take that same fluffy brush I just used and just sort of blend this a little bit into the center from that shade we just did, Sposh. I'm going to take Grew on a pinky, and I want to put that in the middle, like third. No, it's like, how do I describe that? Just most of my eye, but leaving a little bit on each side, just in that deep Sposh shade. So we're doing just a shimmery gray first. All right, and then on top of that, I want to take the shade Stellar and put that right in the center of my lid. Ooh, shiny. Wow. Well, that's cool. And bring that up. Yeah. Maybe not that high. Maybe we'll kind of brush that up a little. Okay. All right. So I want to just go back into Blizzard and blend here a little bit. It was looking a little splotchy or something. All right. So there is eye number 1. Or do I want to do a lower lash? Yeah, let's put some on the lower lash line. I think I'm a little afraid, as much as I love this palette, I'm a little bit afraid. Sometimes blacks and shades of gray and deep colors get a little bit messy. But this palette actually did really well. I don't know why I'm so scared. It's just my history with blacks. And if I use it on my lower lash line, I tend to think I look messy. So I don't know, let's try it. Let's try it and see. Okay, so lower lash line. I'm gonna go a little lighter on the bottom than I did the top, but the same type of thing. I'm gonna take Contrail in the center. Actually, let's start with the darker shades this time. All right, so taking Snert on the outsides, so the outer and inner corner, going to, I have to be so careful and I can't see what I'm doing and make sure that you can see what I'm doing, so bear with me here. All right, that was okay. You're okay. All right, now going into Blizzard and blending into the center. And then using Contrail in the very center. I'm gonna take a dab of this Stellar shade, which is what I used on the top. And I'm just gonna put a little, whoa. I don't know how I feel about that decision. Oof, that got all over the place. Whatever, it's fine. So for my inner corner, going into Rhyme. I just want something shiny right there. I tend to think that flatters my eye shape. So next, we'll go to this eye, and I'm going to start out with Contrail with a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna put that just through my crease. Quite a bit lighter than Blizzard, which is what we started with on this side. I also think it's said to be a matte white. I think it's more of a matte eggshell, which is what they're calling this Flurry shade, which is what I'm going to use next. So I want to use Flurry sort of halfway to halfway on my eye to the outer edge to deepen up the outer crease. Might bring that in a little bit. I just really want to deepen up my crease with that. It's a lovely shade for me. It's still very cool toned. So now I'm going into Ebb, which I believe was described as a metallic midnight blue, something like that, on the Natasha Denona website. And I'm going to place that in my outer V here, outer corner, for some depth. I'm going to use Flurry again to sort of blend that, the edges of that a bit. Oof. Well, this brush was a little too big for that, and now it looks a little more washed out than I wanted. So we're gonna go back in with Ebb, the deeper shade, and just kind of redo what we just undid. I'll bring that in just a little bit on my crease. Okay, now I want to use this Skift all over my lid. This is going to be the star of the show, I think, for the most part. Okay. And I am going to use that on my entire lid, except for I'm not going to try to cover up that blue shade too much. I want to use Neve as like a highlighting shade for this side. I will put that on my brow bone. And I want to use Super Ionic, which I think is my favorite shade in this palette, in my inner corner on that side. It's called a silver with multicolored specks, but I think it looks so pink and blue and glorious. Oh, that is such a good inner corner sparkly shade. I love that. It's so beautiful. Okay. And then for my lower lash line on that side, I am just going to use Flurry, I think. Just to give me some warmth there. I'll deepen it up a little bit. I say warmth. This is a cool toned palette. Make no mistake, it really is. Okay, I think sort of made a mistake and had too light of a shade there. So I'm gonna go in with Ebb again, and just try to fix that up a little bit. So I think this is it for the eyeshadow. I'm gonna finish up both of my eyes and put a little bit more makeup on my face, and I'll be back. Okay, I am actually gonna add a little bit to this eye. There's just something more that I want. It's like I want a deeper outer situation. So I want to try to use, I know this is a little crazy. I want to try to use this. I don't know. We'll see. This might work and it may not. I also think it's okay for it to just be really sparkly. Oh yeah, that is deeper. Fun. All right. Also, I'm gonna use a little bit more Skift and bring this up a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'll be back. Okay, here is the final makeup look. I love this palette. I really do. It's my favorite. I feel like I've really struggled with these grayscale palettes in the past, and this one is just so easy to create these really nice looks, and maybe I'm just more experienced than I was, but I don't know. I just think it turns out so pretty, and what a great excuse to wear Ruby Woo, like the classic red, famous red lipstick from MAC. By the way, just a little side note, I was like, ooh, a like red, true red lip would look great with this eyeshadow palette. And the two that came to mind were the Fenty, I forget what the name of it is. I'm sure it's on here and I can't actually read it. The MVP, okay? And then the other sort of contender, I mean, there are a few, but another one was Ruby Woo from MAC. And they're fairly similar. Ruby Woo's a little bit cooler. It's got a little bit more of a pink, whereas I think the Fenty actually is pretty true, maybe a little closer, has a little bit of like an orange to it, but they're both pretty close. The decider actually was the smell. Sometimes it's just too much, and today was one of those days where this one just seemed not as like okay for you sensitive to smell folks out there. So do they look different? Do the eyes look different? So this is eye number 1. This is eye number 2. And I did very different styles, and actually I just think that this shape tends to look better on my eye, but I don't always want to do the same thing every time. However, there are just things that are more flattering and less flattering. I mean, I definitely, the thing that I love about this palette, because yes, I do think they're different. It's kind of subtle, but like this one, despite having blue here, this one actually looks more blue. It's definitely cooler, like way cooler and silvery. And then this eye has that more champagne vibe going on. And the thing that I love about this is if you don't see this eye, if it's just this one that you're seeing, it still looks very cool toned. Like it's a cool tone grayscale palette with nuance. So I stand by, this is a masterpiece and I love it. And I do think that these looks turned out different. Maybe you think differently than I do, but there it is. There it is. Natasha Denona Xenon palette. I wasn't gonna pick this up, and I'm so glad I did. I really love it. It's so unique to my collection. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for supporting this channel by watching my videos, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're having a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side alive. It will help us every day. It will brighten all the way if we keep on the sunny side alive.